Hello and welcome to the next video in the equation unit, and this time the change is that these equations have variables on both sides, and we'll jump right into an equation that has that occurring, and it looks like this. We have y minus 4 equals 3y plus 6. Alright, so when there are variables on both sides, I always try to take care of the variables first. It's not completely necessary, but when I do that, then now I have a choice of which one to move, and I always like to move the smaller one. So if you have right here is a 1y and a 3y. 1y is smaller, so I want to get rid of that one. And we do that, or at least I do that, so that I always wind up with a positive variable term. So notice how I'm going to get a positive 2y when I do that, 3 minus 1. And if I always take the smaller one away from the bigger one, it will always happen. Alright, so be really careful here. See this negative? It belongs to the 4. It's still with the 4. Don't lose it. Equals 2y plus 6 now. Alright, and again, we're back to a two-step equation. Now, a lot of people get confused here. They really want to add the 4. But if we add the 4, and we get rid of that, then this side of the equation, there's nothing left over here. And that's okay, but we need to put a 0, and then we need to do an extra step anyways. So I always recommend you do not do that, because most people, when they do it, they get it wrong, and they don't do it correctly. So instead, we're going to take the 6 on the same side as the 2a and get rid of that. And our whole goal, remember, is to get rid of everything but the y on that side. So we don't want to bring things over to the y. We want to get things away from the y. And we do that by taking that 6 out. So a negative 4 and a negative 6, when those combine, you get a bigger negative. If you think about it, if you owe someone $4 and then someone takes $6 more away, well, now you're down 10. You don't magically have more money. You're down even more money. So negative 4, negative 6 makes negative 10 equals 2y. Divided by 2. And now we have a negative for an answer. So negative 5 equals y. Alright, I'm going to do my check here on the right. So I have plenty of room. So I'm checking y equals negative 5. Alright, so rewrite y minus 4 equals 3y plus 6. And now I'm replacing. When the answer is negative, it's really important that you use parentheses, so we don't have that negative hanging out and we forget about it. So 3 parentheses negative 5 plus 6. Alright, here's where order of operations kicks in. Negative 5, I'm starting with negative 5, then I'm taking 4 away. That's just like what happened over here. If I start with negative 5 and I take 4 away, I'm down all the way to negative 9. Equals, now I want to multiply before I add the 6. So this would be negative 15 plus 6. Negative 9 equals negative 9. We did it. So this is the first one. We got a second one here, but I got to make this disappear. So let's hide that and bring this one out. Okay, so this one is basically very similar. We have a variable on both sides, a 4y and a negative y. And if you remember, that is a negative 1y. And you think to yourself, which one is smaller, 4y or negative 1y? Well, it's the negative 1y is smaller. And to get rid of a negative 1, I add 1y. Now notice, nowhere on this paper does it say anything about getting rid of the smaller one first. So that is something, as you're taking Cornell notes, that you want to pay attention to and write on your own, even if I don't write it down myself. So please do that. Alright, so we get 8 plus 5y. This is gone. Equals 17. Alright, you got to take this 8 away from that side. Gone. 5y equals 9. Well, this isn't working out like I thought it was going to work out. That's okay. When this happens, I would just leave it as a fraction, 9/5. And there's your answer. Now, when I get an answer like this, I am very eager to check it, because this doesn't feel like I did it correctly, but we will see. Let's see if I did it correctly. So we're going to check 9/5. Oops, I meant to write y equals 9/5. Alright, this might be a little yucky. 8 plus 4 times 9/5 equals negative 9/5 plus 17. So you have a choice here. You can turn 9/5 into a decimal if you want, or keep working as a fraction. I'm going to choose to convert it to a decimal because I can see from here it's not going to go away. The denominator is not going to go away very easily. So let's do, oop, that's a really big 8, plus 4, and it ends up being 1.8. And this is where a calculator can certainly help. I don't expect everyone to know that right away. This is negative 1.8 plus 17. So we got to do 8 plus, now 4 times 1.8. That would be, let's see, 2 would be 3.6. It would be 7.2. And then it looks like we're taking almost 2 away. So if I took 2 away from 17, it would be 15. And then I add 0.2 back on. So that's 15.2. Again, you can use a calculator if you want. I'm trying to use my brain. But you can do whatever you feel the most confident in. Now, that one's all set. This side over here, 8 plus 7 is 15. And then the 0.2 will just be 15.2. So, even though the answer was a little stinky, it does check. And it does work. So you get an answer like this, it's not automatically bad. Doesn't mean there's no answer. It doesn't mean you did it wrong. It just means sometimes things work out and the answer is 1.8. So there you have it. I'm going to get rid of these, and just like in the last video, I have one for you to try on your own. And I believe this one does not work out ugly like the other one. Alright, good luck, and I'll see you in class.